Mike, give me your thoughts on what happened at Dev Day or Dev
Sure.
couple of days,
Yeah.
the OpenAI
Well,
gang.
look, it was definitely an inflection point and in this already busy environment. OpenAI had just put out GPT-5, which when they bumped that number from 3 to 4, from 4 to 5, the expectations were enormous. And I would say they probably missed it. When they did that. So it was kind of a big question mark what was going to happen at their dev day, and frankly they blew the doors off. And the way that they did it is just stunning. They introduced a bunch of new capabilities, the chat kit, the agent builder, a few others along those lines, some UI widget activities, and they did it because they used GPT-5 to help them code. So it was sort of like for Sam Altman, it was sort of like a drop the mic moment, right? Like all of you guys critiqued my model, but look what I did in 6 weeks. I basically brought about the fourth revolution of this age, right? If you go back to the very beginning, the GPT moment 3 years ago, that was kind of the prompt age, and then there was the function age, then we had the reasoning age, and now we are undeniably in the agentic age, especially with this release from OpenAI.
Can't this may be a little bit of a contrarian view. For me, there's a slight meh. So, I think it may have been Wade Foster from Zapier who said, "Welcome to the party. Where have you been?" So, Microsoft's been there with AI Foundry, and AWS has been there with Bedrock, and we've got N8N and Crew AI and Zapier. I'm trying to pull it apart and understand: is this a me too with AgentKit? And so, great, you're here, and that's another great platform or set of scaffolding on which to deliver agents. Or is it something better than the rest? And right now, for me, it's a little bit of a me too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Reactions to that?
Well, you can certainly go down the list. Oh, do you have a way of building prompts? Do you have a way of building the agent flow? Do you have a real way of mapping the AI? And you can do that for N8N and Crew and all the others that you mentioned. And certainly OpenAI is in that mix now. I think the difference is um, the universe is still struggling with the question of what is an agent, and that has been fulminantly answered now. That's really the big moment here. A business workflow is an agent. Period. Drop the mic. Story's over. Here's how you build one. Here's how you hook it up. Here's how you add it to your application. OpenAI will send you a bill. Right. That to me is the moment. There's not another company to go to who Crew AI is not a household name, right? Neither is
Yeah.
N8N, right? Microsoft continues to introduce a new one of these every year, and everybody kind of wonders what they are. We're still stuck in the mode of, RAG plus MCP is a solution. That's really what Sam did here. And Sam, he was even quoted. He's talked about the gift that keeps on giving. It's not large language models. It's not the work product of OpenAI. The thing that keeps on giving is deep learning, right? So Sam Altman, in an interview this week, he reached all the way back to deep learning, the Jeff Hinton moment, when machines learned to look at the world and teach themselves, right? And that's the thing that he is pointing to is at the heart of it, and that's what they've done here. They've looked at the world and said, oh, there are workflows in business. Can we observe what those are doing and automate them using AI? That's what an agent is. I think that's what's going to make it a household name and stop the head scratching.
So wildly supportive, and we're here to talk about agents today. It's interesting to me. I think their daily user base went up from 700 million to 800 million in OpenAI, whatever that means. What is authentically a user? Um, but the AWSs of the world, the Microsofts of the world, they've got a different anchor point and have been there, particularly at the enterprise, where really this agent building activity is going to make a difference. And this is going to be a really interesting battle, sort of coming at it from two different angles as to what agentic scaffolding or platform is going to be the winner. And I think it's probably going to be many winners. Well, maybe multiple is a better answer. So let me shut up. Riley or Nicole, chime in on this if you feel this argument is makes sense or isn't the right perspective.
No, I think you're right, Jim. I do think it is a bit of a me too. And I think we've been out here building agents for quite some time now. And I think it's just a matter of how we're enlisting the different tools that are available to build those agents.
Love it. So basically, it's 3 to 1. It's in
Right?
there.
Right?
And
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
Mike.
No, I
all
mean,
right.
but Nicole's exactly right. It's not like this is the first time agents have come about, right? We've been working with, the Max AI and the Microsoft Copilots of the world. We've been, even internally using N8, and like this is not the first time agents are out in the open. It's more than what Anthropic says, which is agents are prompts in a loop. It's more than that, right? Let's acknowledge it. And at the same time, it's been misunderstood in the sense that if you look in the marketplace, it's not clear that, for example, I'll pluck one out of the air. It's not clear to most people that an agent should contain its own self-test. That people would say, no, an agent has prompts, an agent has models, an agent has a job. It should contain its own self-test. If it doesn't, it's not software, right? It's an idea, it's an anecdote, it's a fun thing that I did on the weekend, but it's not software, right? So the notion that there are your evals built into the agent, that's the thing that I think has been introduced here, maybe not introduced because we've been doing those for a long time. To Nicole's point, but it's become part of the vocabulary that we don't have to explain anymore. It's a requirement now. And that's going to be fabulous for anybody that's trying to automate workflows.
I
Nicole,
think
sorry.
I think you bring up a great point, Mike, about this being software and agents being software. And one of the things that we've been doing while we're working on bringing these agents to life for our customers, we start with very much founded in the SDLC, the Software Development Lifecycle. And we start with the business requirements in mind. And I think that's core of what we wanted to talk about here today. I think the way we bring success to our customers for using agents is, what is the business problem you're trying to solve? What are the core questions that support that business problem? And then what data do you have to answer those questions? And we take that and put it all together to build our agents. But the focus is founded in that core business objective.
Yeah, I agree. I would say that as remarkable and revolutionary as this new LLM and agentic technology is, a lot of those core principles for bringing any sort of process to life successfully to enterprise, they still hold true, and in some ways are even more critical now than with your classical software implementations.